Today we're answering your top YouTube questions.
So I'm on Reddit a lot. And there's this one subreddit called YouTubers, and we were talking about it in the car yesterday. And they've got like 200 something thousand people on this Reddit. And all of those people are either YouTubers or people wanting to become YouTubers. And we know there's a ton of channels out there, so that number in my head makes sense. But everything on this subreddit is just like questions about YouTube, and all of the different things that like go into being a YouTuber, creating content, monetizing your content, working with sponsors. So we thought it would be a good idea for me to choose some of these questions and not tell Spencer what they are before sitting down to film this video. So you're getting his raw, honest reactions and responses.
I have no idea what they are.
To what these questions are. And then maybe we'll see what the people of Reddit had to say too. So are you ready?
Yes, hit me with question number 1.
Okay. This first one, I feel like we've talked about on our podcast a little bit. So this guy, he says consistent growth versus huge spikes. He says, "Hi everybody, I have a YouTube channel where I post mostly short form cooking content. It was going very slowly for about 1.5 years, and I was consistently posting around 2-ish videos per week. Growth was very slow. Maybe I averaged around 4,000 to 8,000 views per short, but I managed to crawl my way to 30,000 followers in that 1.5 years. Wow. I feel like that's solid. That's a lot for just 1.5 years. And then he says, suddenly in the last 3 months, I had 4 to 5 videos go viral, over 1 million or close to 1 million views, and my follower count went to above 110,000. Wow. But since then, it has slowed back down to a crawl, and my view count on my reels are back down to sub 10K on the average. Content is more or less the same. My question is, how do I build towards more consistent growth and engagement? It's hard to keep chasing virality every time."
That's a hard one. So do you know if he also does long form content, or is it just shorts? Or did he not mention it?
So he said mostly short form cooking content is his content.
Okay.
So I'm thinking like he's in a kitchen, he's throwing stuff into a pot. That kind of content.
Those videos are super satisfying to watch.
Yeah.
My initial thought, the first thing that came to my mind is short form is and can be helpful, and there are short form creators that all they do is short form.
And that's kind of what it sounds like he is. Like it sounds like he's a short form cooking content creator.
But I think for consistent growth, you can't do short form content.
Yeah.
Like I think you have to do long form content for consistent growth, because the way that short form style is with the scrolling, you get tons of exposure, but it's like shorts amount of time. And so those people are just looking for a small hit of dopamine instead of like wanting to sit down for a long period of time. And so that's my initial thought, at least.
Yeah, I think the problem if like you have like 60,000 more followers than you had, and those followers clicked subscribe for that one video, like you might run into problems when like, are they going to be there for all your other content too, or just that viral video? Like I think virality is a little bit of a trap where you go viral, you get a ton of views, a ton of subscribers, and then maybe your next content doesn't go viral because you can't control the algorithm to go viral. That would be great if you could, but you can't. And then all these people, are they all going to stick around and become your loyal fans, or did they just hit subscribe because it was viral? Or
I don't think being viral is all that bad. I think it can raise your view floor, meaning that like, you know, if you average like 5,000 views a video or something, and you have a video that goes viral, I think that could boost your base floor to like 10,000 or something.
Do you think that's the same with shorts and long form, or are you? Because I know you're biased towards long form. Because long form is where it's at, but
yeah, I think it could also increase the base of your short form as well.
Yeah.
You know, people like they probably subscribe for that one video or a couple of videos that went viral. And so they're looking for more of that content.
Yeah.
So, you know, I think your other shorts should mathematically like be higher.
And he did say content is more or less the same. So he's still doing those types of videos.
Yeah.
So hopefully, best case scenario, his reels are back down to kind of where they were. Hopefully it's a little bit higher. And I think you can't let the numbers discourage you too much, because the numbers don't tell you really about loyal fans and dedicated fans.
I mean, some of the numbers can, like watch time. I don't know that much about shorts watch time.
Yeah.
Because they're so
watch
short.
Time. Yeah. Yeah.
So my recommendation for you is, keep doing the short form, because I think that's where you're growing the most, but also focus in on the long form. I am biased towards long form.
That's what we do.
But, I think long form is king over short form. So yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Cool. Do you want to hear what this person commented on this post?
Who commented?
So
just a random person?
Yeah,
Oh.
I'm not saying usernames. We'll probably put usernames on a little pop-up somewhere, but commenter on the original post says, I'm honestly not sure there is such a thing as sustained growth for a shorts channel. The nature of shorts is that viewers move on quickly. Sustained growth is about building connection with your audience, and that doesn't happen naturally in a swipe feed. If someone figures out how to make a connection happen in shorts, they will be very successful, but I have no idea how one would do that.
Well,
Savage.
There's one that comes straight to mind, SB Mowing.
Oh,
he
yeah.
does the
mowing.
lawn care
He
videos.
knocks on the door and is like,
hey, your lawn sucks.
let me mow it.
And he has a very specific format for all of
Yeah.
his shorts. He knocks on the door, he's like,
Hey, I have a weird proposal. I want to do your lawn for free.
and then he time lapses it, so it's super satisfying to see the grass cut, and then he shows you the final result. And I think people just enjoy being satisfied, and so because he has a consistent format for his shorts, I think he's created that connection, but I don't think all content can create that same connection.
Yeah, and is that connection, or are people,
Oh, that is SB.
his name's Spencer, right?
Yeah.
That proves a point. I don't even know his name, but I've seen a ton of his videos. So I don't know if it's as much connection versus just exposure. Maybe he has a lot of exposure. What's the difference between exposure and connection?
Well, so I'm on TikTok a lot, which I probably shouldn't be, but I see other people trying to copy SB Mowing, and when I look at the comments, a lot of the time there's a comment that's liked a lot, and it says,
Not my usual guy, but I'll watch.
and I think when they say not my usual
Okay.
guy, I think
They
they
mean-
mean
okay.
SB Mowing.
So he's not
Hey, I'm Spencer from SB Mowing. Welcome to my channel.
Yeah.
he's just
I'm gonna mow this lawn, and you're gonna know who I am.
that's confidence. You have to have confidence. You have to own it.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you're not going to get anywhere. So,
Yeah.
okay, cool. Well, that's the first question. Next question. Do you ask for permission to film in restaurants/stores? So this person says, hey, YouTuber family, I'm researching on point of view videos. When you're out in public and you're about to enter a restaurant or store, how do you go about filming? Do you walk in, or do you ask the store owner there for permission first? Do you have any advice for an amateur POV aspiring filmer?
That's interesting. So I don't have a ton of experience with this. A lot of the people I watch on YouTube aren't necessarily vloggers or POV vloggers. I do watch one, and it's PewDiePie.
What do you think PewDiePie does?
So I know in at least one of his videos, he mentioned that the restaurant did not want him to film. And I'm guessing he was filming when he was walking in.
Yeah.
And they probably saw him and they were like, hey, don't film.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Okay.
So you could try that, just film as you're walking in, and one of the workers will probably see you, and if they don't want you to film, they'll probably tell you.
Yeah.
But I will say, to be safe, just always ask.
Yeah.
Because that is a private area.
Yeah.
They own that restaurant, and so they can tell you to film or not film.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
if it was outside a restaurant, like in the public street, then I think it's totally fine.
Yeah. So I'm scrolling through the comments, and a lot of people are saying you should ask, that it's considerate to ask. This one person says, depending on where you are, you may run into legal implications if you post it without their permission. Like I can think of like national parks because we're in
Really?
Utah. Yeah, you can't film certain things in national parks without a permit.
Really? I guess.
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
At least for like commercial use, which like we're talking about like YouTube as a business, posting on your YouTube page
Yeah.
to get monetized, to make money, you might run into issues there. So that was interesting.
I feel like the likelihood of that is not very high.
Yeah.
Because I feel like a lot of restaurants, if they're smart, that's free exposure. You know, they may have their own reasons, but if I was a restaurant owner, I'd be like, yeah, go
like,
ahead.
heck yeah, film here. Like if PewDiePie walked into my restaurant and was like,
Hey, can I film here and tell my
how many subscribers does he have? Like a
Over
stupid
100
amount.
million.
100.
Can I tell my 100 million followers that I'm eating at this restaurant and it's good?
Yeah.
Like if I was a restaurant owner, I would like pass out. Like that would be the most exciting moment of my life.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind too. Like, and I think if you're going into the POV genre,
Genre.
and I think if you're going into the POV genre, like you kind of have to get ready for awkward moments.
Yeah.
Like you can't just expect to never run into an issue when you're filming places.
Yeah, you probably have to learn to adapt.
Yeah. And I think be humble too. Like you don't want to be that YouTuber that's like,
I'm a YouTuber. I can film wherever I want to.
like if someone tells you no, like respect them and be like, okay, I'm so sorry. I won't do that. Don't be like,
Do you know who I am?
like,
Yeah.
don't do that for sure. So, okay. Are you ready for the next one?
Yeah, hit me with the next one.
Hit it. Okay. Can you do multiple topics on one channel and have success? This is something we've learned a lot about from our clients, from our podcast guests. So this person says, I have a small YouTube channel that focuses on building flying and reviewing drones. I have done decently with informative content that gets 1,000 to 5,000 views per video. My question is, can I branch out to other topics and find success, or are you locked into one content type from the get-go? The reasoning is I've wanted to make videos about building/riding motorcycles, as many of the skills and processes are surprisingly similar, and I would enjoy to do both. In the same vein, however, I don't want to jeopardize my current formula by pumping content out that is not what my viewers would expect. Is it better to do both on one or make another channel considering my small size? Thoughts?
So, the key word there is small channel.
Yeah.
I think because you're a small channel, you cannot do other type of content.
I think types of content though, like it might make sense to do other types of drones or
Yeah, I think right now his topic or their topic is drones, and videos around drones I think is fun.
Yeah.
But motorcycles is
that's
completely
way different.
So I would recommend
Yeah.
doing a different channel.
Yeah,
Now,
for sure.
if you were huge, like you're Mr. Beast or
That
someone
he can do
who
whatever
has
he wants.
more than 10 million
Yeah.
subscribers, you can do whatever you want, probably.
Yeah.
Now, if, for example, like MKBHD made a video about makeup,
Yeah,
like,
that
that video
weird.
would do so bad. So you kind
Or
of...
it might do good because people are like, what the heck is this?
Yeah, but for the most part, it probably would not do good.
Yeah.
And so even the big channels have to stay focused in a niche. But it's easier to expand when you're bigger just because your videos go out to more people. So, but I would recommend as a small YouTube channel, don't change topics. Like stick with, yours is drones, so stick with drones and videos around drones like that. And then maybe when you're bigger, you could add some other stuff, but you could also ask your audience through like community posts or...
Yeah. And you can also, like, once you're bigger, create your new channel and on your existing channel be like,
Hey followers, for anyone who's interested, I'm starting, a passion project about motorcycles.
like you can still utilize your current audience without, force feeding them motorcycle content when that's not what they subscribed for.
Yeah, so from what I understand is when you publish a video, it goes out to your subscribers first, and if a lot of your subscribers and viewers see that and watch that video, it pushes it out to more people. So
Yeah.
if you were to create a motorcycle video and it goes out to your subscribers and they're like, oh, I only want to watch drones, and they don't click on that video, then YouTube may think like,
Oh, people don't want to see this video.
and so they won't push it out farther.
Yeah.
And so it won't do as good. So
Yeah.
I would not
Stops up.
recommend
Yeah.
doing motorcycle content.
Yeah, in your situation.
Yeah.
This guy's interesting. A commenter on that. He says, think of it like a reality TV show. Like if you're really into The Bachelor, and because I like The Bachelor, I think it's funny. And you're watching every week for The Bachelor, they're doing their thing, and you get to like week 7 or whatever, and they're like, you know what? I think instead of doing our normal Bachelor content, we're gonna like do some DIY projects on this house. And like again, it might get that like, well, that's weird spike. You just never know, because with a big enough audience, you run into that too. But if The Bachelor just like mid-season becomes a home renovation show, all your people who are like watching for this original show, like are they going to keep watching? No. Some people will, and you'll get those, Bachelor home renovation. They're like,
This is exactly what I wanted. This is great.
Yeah.
but I think probably most people are going to be like,
This is weird. This isn't what I'm here for.
Yeah.
so. And you can do that with any TV show. Like if you're watching Dr. Phil and Dr. Phil's like,
You know what? We're gonna turn this into like a stand-up comedy show.
when Dr. Phil starts doing like stand-up
Wait,
comedy.
is it not? No, just kidding.
No, it's not. So there's a little, I liked that analogy. I thought that was funny. All right, next question. YouTube solo journey suggestions. Hi YouTubers, I want to start a solo YouTube channel and I will be working all alone. No team, no editor, just me handling everything from ideation to publishing. I'd love to get your insights, tips, and advice on a few things to make sure I start off strong with the right mindset. What are the things I need to learn? What all types of content I can think of creating to do all alone? Any other suggestions are appreciated. So basically, they've never done YouTube. They're doing it by themselves. What's the first thing you would do?
First thing I would do,
Yeah.
did they mention they have a topic in mind?
Nope.
Or no? So that's the first thing I would do is pick my niche for my channel. That's probably the most important thing. You want to be niche enough that you find an audience, but you don't want to be too niche that it's too hard to grow. So that would be the first thing, is find the topic.
I think figure out how you're going to film yourself too. Whether it's your
You
phone
need equipment.
or like phones are great now.
Yeah, even basic stuff like iPhones are really
They're
good
pretty
now.
cool.
Like we're using an iPhone right now.
So figure out what you're going to film yourself with. It doesn't have to be professional level, but like
Yeah,
good.
You need a camera and a mic. That's I would say your bare minimum.
and editing, like there's tons of stuff out there, right?
Yeah, there's a lot of video editing platforms.
What is free? Like if they don't want to spend very much money, how do they get started for free?
There are a lot of free programs out there. It kind of depends on your skill level. Like if this person is a complete beginner, I would start with something simple like iMovie.
Or there's like CapCut on your phone too if you're doing short form.
Yeah. I don't know if that can do horizontal, but I know it does vertical video pretty well. So there's some free ones out there. If you're more advanced, I know DaVinci Resolve has a free version. But once you get more into it and you want to do, more edits, I guess, it might be beneficial to learn a new program like Premiere or Final Cut or
those are the
something
two
like
that are kind of pretty standard for
I would say most people use
top-tier
Premiere
YouTubers.
and then the second most is Final Cut. Maybe that's controversial, but maybe it's just because I use Premiere. But
all the Final Cut people out there are like,
They're flipping tables.
So, okay.
I think doing a solo journey is a good idea. Like you can have some fun with it. It's important to be passionate about your channel. But at a certain point, you will get big enough that it's just not possible to continue to grow without having a team. because it's so competitive and there's a lot of big channels out there. In order to compete at that high of a level, like you will need some help. So I would suggest going as far as you can, but you know, I would recommend getting some help at some point.
Yeah. You could hire Spencer. He's a pretty good video editor.
Yeah, I would say video editor, I am biased. A video editor is a good next step because while you can film something and then send it to an editor, and while they're working on a video, you can film something else.
It can like double your content production. Yeah. I'd also say like sponsorship managers. A lot of YouTubers that I see, they'll have a team to help them with sponsorships.
Yeah.
Because it can be helpful to get like more funding to then hire more people to then create more content.
Yeah, I know there are some agencies out there that like they will find sponsorships for your channel and they take like a cut just because they found it for you and stuff like that. So that might be helpful. Or like a coach, you know, someone to motivate you to continue doing stuff. I've heard some horror stories with YouTube managers where they like control the channel. So I'd be careful with those, but a coach, someone that's external that could like motivate you or help you stay on the right track would be beneficial too.
Yeah.
So what do the comments say?
I like this one. This guy says, the biggest suggestion is leave perfectionism. As an editor, I fall into that a lot. Don't focus too much on making everything perfect because it'll exhaust you very quickly. Just have fun in the process and keep posting. If you're having a good time doing it, that's all that matters. All the best. And then they pitch themselves. But I mean, I guess we just pitched ourselves. So
Yeah.
Fair.
Yeah.
So cool.
I think that's a good point.
All right, last one. Are you ready?
Let's do it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I've started creating content. What are the most effective strategies to grow my audience and make an impact? I'm currently using my phone, tablet, and laptop to create, edit, and share my content. At the moment, I'm learning the ins and outs of making video clips. I'm using AI tools for some aspects of the editing process, but the creative vision and execution are all mine. Right now, I'm primarily focusing on reaction videos while I save up for a new gaming laptop with it. I hope to dive into gaming content and even start streaming, expanding my online presence even further. Oh, interesting. That one like spirals near the end to something totally different.
Yeah.
So first half, what are the most effective strategies to grow my audience and make an impact? I think in general, and then we'll go more specific to this person because
So in general, I think the biggest thing is consistency.
Yeah.
That's the number one thing. A lot of people say that, but it's true. Because to grow an audience, they need to be able to rely on your content.
Yeah.
You know, that's why, you know, TV shows, they release weekly or they have a set schedule of when they're releasing. And so creating like a schedule or being consistent is what I would say is the number one thing.
Yeah. I think also give it time. Like there's so many people on this Reddit. Like one of the number one questions I see people ask is like,
It's been 6 months. I don't have any followers. I'm annoyed and I want to quit.
so
Yeah.
that's why there's so many dead channels out there is because people go for 6 months. They burn themselves out first of all. They go too hard, too fast, and then they stop. So I think give it time too. Like don't expect to see anything fast in 6 months, a year, 2 years.
Something I will say about that is if you get to a year mark and you haven't grown at all, then you need to change something.
Yeah, I'm thinking like slow growth though. Like if you're seeing slow growth, I think keep at it.
Yeah.
Don't let like slow growth frustrate you. Now, if you have 100 subscribers and a year later you have 110 subscribers, change something. You're doing something wrong. But I'm thinking like you go from 100 subscribers to 1,000 subscribers in a year. Like in your first year, awesome. Then maybe you go from 1,000 subscribers to 8,000 subscribers in a year.
Yeah.
And then, you know, like people are expecting to blow up overnight and that's just not how it works anymore.
Yeah, no. I mean, it is possible, but to do that, it's like winning the lottery. I feel like.
And it goes back to the virality. Like those people that have watched you grow for years and years and years, they're going to be way more valuable to you than someone who like came across your content and was like,
Oh, oh, this guy's viral. Cool.
Like, I still watch some of the same people I watched in high school, like 15 years ago.
You were in high school 15 years ago?
I just made myself sound super old. I said in high school because, like, I'm 26. I probably started watching YouTube when I was like 10 or 11, you know?
Yeah.
I feel like that's when, like...
So you started watching people 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And you watched them through high
And
school.
I watched them through high school. Not the same thing.
Just wanted to clarify. Julie's not a cougar.
Okay, well, that's it.
I do have another general piece of advice. So you need to be passionate about your channel. That I think is the second biggest thing, because if you're not having fun doing it, then you're gonna burn out really quickly. And so that would be the second thing that I say. And that kind of leads into this person's specific situation. I think they are passionate about it.
Yeah.
It sounds like they want to go into gaming content, which is interesting from reaction videos. I know it depends on what videos they're reacting to. If they're reacting to video game content, I think they could include that into their channel.
But if they're reacting to all sorts of stuff, because that's the thing with reaction videos, is you're not necessarily reacting to the person reacting. A lot of the time, like, most of the screen is the original video. And then, like, that person's like a side commenter. Like, I don't know if you're really building like, you're getting a lot of views, but I don't, like, are you building an audience with reaction videos?
I think you can.
You can?
Yeah.
Okay. I think it probably depends on the person.
Yeah, I do think you need to add your own commentary, which they probably are, but...
Yeah. But I've definitely seen those where it's just a guy in the corner going, huh? The whole time.
Yeah.
And I'm like, say you've never seen the video he's reacting to before, and you're like, oh, I'm watching that video, but then... Yeah. So... I think that's interesting. I think what this person needs to be careful of is building a massive subscriber count just through reaction videos that are satisfying and...
Well, I mean, if they enjoy doing that and that's what their channel's about.
Yeah, but then building that audience to then pivot that audience to your gaming content.
Yeah.
Like, you're like...
Okay, I'm going to build up all these followers, and then I'm going to start this content, and all these followers are going to magically be like,
Lovely, I'm gonna watch this content.
Like, that's not how audiences work. Like, you don't, you know, get a bunch of followers for really cheap and then expect them to convert into those loyal, passionate viewers. Like, it doesn't work like that. So that's what I'd be careful of with this one.
What advice does the comment section have?
Okay, this person says... Don't be gamer number 4,269. Go make something of value and be unique to stand out from the crowd. Also, question yourself on why you even want to make content. If you're trying to be rich, this really isn't a place for it.
Yeah. It's not a get rich quick scheme.
No.
I think there are rich YouTubers, but you have to be really big to be rich.
And those rich YouTubers, they probably do YouTube like beyond full-time, like full-time.
Like overtime full-time.
Oh, yeah. I feel like I default to Mr. Beast, but I feel like that's what everyone thinks of when they think of the biggest YouTuber. Is he the biggest?
He is the biggest.
Okay. Like, he's big because he does YouTube all day.
Yeah.
Like, he does...
all day, every day.
Yeah. You know, like, he spends weeks, months of his life on a single video. If you look at his content, it takes so much work and so many people. He's a very rich YouTuber, but it's not easy. Like,
yeah, and he did, like, he didn't start out spending weeks and months on videos.
Yeah.
Everyone started somewhere, but you know, you have to, if you want to be the best, you have to put in the most time and effort. So
if you want Mr. Beast results, you need Mr. Beast effort.
Yeah.
And there's people out there doing it, and they're doing really great. But it takes a lot of work. So I hope you're ready for that. Okay, I think that's all the questions.
Cool, awesome. Those were really good questions. I feel like we gave some good advice, but if you think we misled you in any way, or if you have advice of your own, let us know in the comments below.
Yeah, and if you need help with your YouTube videos, like say you want to hire Spencer as your video editor, then you can reach out at info@creatorlux.com. We'll put all the info in the description box below. So
Thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.